Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy I'm here right now. Right now it's really dark. Except for the light coming from my computer. One reason I'm keeping it this dark is simple. It's because this kind of represents where I'm at right now. In terms of my dream that I had, which is going to be what this video is about. It's going to be about a dream that I had just not too long ago. Right now it's 6:45. I think I woke up at 6:27 at the beginning of this. I had to freshen up a bit, and I wanted to talk about this dream as soon as I had it in my mind. So yeah, this state of darkness, it represents where I'm at right now in terms of the dream. Very bitter ending, because I just didn't get to understand what the truth of the matter was, and I just wish that I did. Well, now that I made my point, I mean, might as well get a little bit of light up in this. I'm in my boxes right now, so excuse me. Alright. I think that's better. Anyway, what's up guys? It's your boy Emmy right now. And right now I want to discuss a dream that I had not too long ago. And I didn't get to brush my hair. I gotta get a haircut actually, or at least get a fade or something. But this dream, man, let me tell you something. I don't know where to start on this one. How about a setting? Alright, or a theme. So think this. Y'all are all familiar with the SMT game, right? Shin Megami Tensei game. So imagine a Shin Megami Tensei game, but like for a dream. And imagine like you can have a Shin Megami Tensei game in the future that featured the details of this dream. That would be amazing, right? I mean, some probably will be amazing. For some others, it will be probably like really horrifying. I don't know. It depends. Well, I think it would be a really cool idea for a game. So let me explain what this is about. So, oh, I see some red lines there. That's weird. So, with this dream, alright, let's say it's not a Persona game, right? Sorry, I had to crack my neck. It's all stiff. Oh, that was great. So it's not a Persona game. It's an SMT title for sure. So I imagine an SMT title that involved, let's say, alright, here's the gimmick. So you have a bunch of doors, right? And doors are your decision in the game. It's what leads to, you know, you doing that, you saying this, staying over in that scenario, or you saying something else in another scenario. So let's see, I don't remember the actual reason for the dream. Like, I don't remember what the heck it was. All I remember is that, like, I don't know for what reason this even happened. There was absolutely nothing discussed as to why. That could be probably part of your imagination. All I can tell you is that in the dream, let's say, alright, so a game came out in the dream, and it's called Shin Megami Tensei, I don't know, reality program, some crazy name that you're like, oh crap, that sounds intense, I want to like try it out, right? So a couple of my friends and I get it, and a couple of my friends, because I didn't get to it after a while because I was like so busy or whatever, like, even in the dreams I'm busy for some reason. So afterwards, when my friends play it like months later, they're like, yo, this game is insane. I'm like, you know what, we're gonna have to capture you for a weekend and you gotta play it, because you being the big fan of SMT more than us, you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing this game. And I can't even call it a game. It's more like a way of life. It's more like a standard of living. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, it's like, that makes no sense. It's like, you will understand as soon as you play it. So apparently, this SMT game goes from being a game to being real life or something. At least for a time, because, you know, it's like a simulator kind of game. So it's like virtual reality. It's like your Dot Hack, like your Log Horizon, Sword Art, you know, stuff like that. If you want to imagine it that way, it's like that, except probably worse in terms of like how serious it is inside of it. You know, like the whole danger aspect of being inside this simulator, because it's SMT. You know, it's not like the other ones. It's not like any of the other games or anime that I described. So this is a big thing with SMT. So you guys know how SMT games play. It's like you summon demons, or in some games' case, you are the demon. But most of the time, majority, more like the standard SMT game is you are controlling demons via a demon summoning program, and you're doing something. You're either saving the world, destroying the world, something. You just have to play the game. There's always like a turbulent battle between, I don't even want to say good and evil. It's law and chaos. The SMT universe, good and evil don't really exist. There's just one side, and there's another side. Usually there's a third side, which is neutrality. In some games there's a fourth, a nihilistic side, but that's more or less like a joke or bad ending, I guess, or an ending that will, like, it's just a fourth part that just doesn't usually make it. So anyway, it's usually a law side, which is, lawful, chaotic side. I mean, you pick your poison, I guess. I don't even want to say poison, but it's just how the saying goes. Just pick whatever side, pick your horse, I guess, and bet on it. That's how SMT games go. Whichever side you think is the strongest, whichever side you think it will benefit you the most, you pick it. Right? Or if you want to see whatever ending, I don't know. Sometimes people are perfectionists. They like to see everything, whatever. And I'm trying to think how this goes. So the main setting of the game, right? So let me try to put you in perspective. I don't want to take too long saying this dream either, because there's so many details that I could be here literally for like 3 or 4 hours talking about this. So I'm not trying to let that happen. So part 1 of the dream. Let's just divide it into like 3 parts. Part 1 would be me with my friends. Like some reason I live in like Philadelphia. I guess I just missed Nate, so because he's in Philly. But he's coming over on the 13th. It's awesome. So I live in Philadelphia. I had a couple of friends and family members that lived around me. So we went to the marketplace, went to a Chinese store. We picked up a SMT game there, as well as some food. Don't ask me why they were selling SMT games, but we went there, went to Walmart, came back. And then that's where the whole busy cycle for me began, or something, work and school. And then afterwards, they come over to my house someday. Like, I guess the calendar advances to that day. Doesn't really tell you. You just had to kind of like context clue it. Be like, oh, okay, so, well, time's a little bit more advanced, and this guy has a beard now, whatever. He's not fully shaved, so he just has a beard, kind of how I look, except I have shaved head, whatever. And they're like, okay, well, we gotta have to take you for a weekend, and you have to play this game. And trust me, it's gonna take you the whole weekend, or whatever. He was like, don't worry, we'll take care of you, or whatever. So I go over to their place, and they plugged me in to like this thing. It's not really like any kind of device. It's just like you could sit on your bed, but there's like this device. I don't even know how it works. It's like a chip or something, and it somehow like sends signals to your brain. I guess that's how it works. It's like dreaming, but more advanced or something. So yeah, that's what would happen. They'll plug me into this thing, and I would just be ready to go. And then that would plug me into a system. I don't even know what would happen if the system were to be shut off. I guess the dream would be over, but whatever. So they plug me in, and I'm like, okay, let me go into this world. So that leads into part 2 of the dream. I'm trying not to go into too much detail. Part 2 of the dream is very, I don't even know how to explain it. This is probably the part that had the most confusing gameplay or whatever. So I'm just going to say just your SMT stuff, you summon demons, there's a plot of the game, this is that, you go through the plot, you go through this, you go through that. I'm going to skip to the end, just to save you guys some time, or a lot of time rather. So what happens is, towards the end of the game, there's, spoilers. Towards the end of the game, there's a bus section. So you ride on a bus, and you're doing a high-speed, not really chase, but like a getaway from the evil beings behind, or the people that are your antagonists in the game, and they're chasing you. And some crazy thing happens throughout the city where like you have this demon faction against you. Oh, I was doing law ending, by the way. I had to build all kinds of law points. Usually I'm a neutral guy, so I don't know about like law. I usually go for neutral because usually it's the better ending. But I went for law this time around. I guess that's just my character. Like if I were thrust into into a real life situation, would you not rather go with God and the devil? You know what I mean? Like that's just my mentality. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for law in this dream. So I build up law points, and then the bus scenario happens, and then we're like trying to escape this thing, and then this is like giant Beelzebub demon summons another demon, and then we have all these like end game level demons that are like destroying the city that I'm in. Right, and there's fire everywhere, and then this high-speed chase thing. I forget what happens. We go over a bridge or something, and then like some really insane explosion things happen behind the whatever's chasing us, and in front of us, and then behind us. Right, so we're on this bridge, and this bridge is like the biggest part of the game because like a lot of the game center around this bridge. And on top of that, we're supposed to, like, the bridge was, like, separating because it was trying to, like, one of the part of the story is that it was trying to, like, remove an island that was attached to the major part of the city where a lot of the demons, someone had summoned the demons over on the island, and then they got to the city. And I was thinking to myself, at this point, it doesn't matter. You're screwed either way, even if you detach the island. So the bridge is what held the island together or whatever. So they were, like uncoupling I guess you could say that, uncoupling the islands by the bridge. So they had to lift it up first, and then like they were, I don't know how it works, but like you lift it up. So we're going up on this bus that has like practically no acceleration, right? And we're like, the bridge is like going like this, and this way, and then it's like going up, and we're like at this point, right? And then we're over here. Oh no, let's say we're over here. We're actually on the left, but because this is mirrored, let's say this is the left, right? This looks like the left to you guys, right? And then we're going up this way, and then the thing's behind us, and it's going up or whatever. And then we had to make this jump. And as we're going up on this jump, I forget, one of the demons behind us makes a move, like starts to cast something, and there's like a vortex that appears right in front of us, and it sucks us in. And then, like, I think he did like some kind of, like, almighty move or something. And then it sucks everyone in. And then, like, the whole thing just explodes and the bridge just kind of, like, crumbles. And we're stuck in this vortex, right? And eventually, like, the vortex just kind of, like, explodes. And then we all, like, kind of die. And we go on into the water. So we're all dead. So that was, like, supposed to be the twist ending or whatever. It's like there's, like, so many different paths in the game. But... what happened is, even if I was building up law ending, there's apparently some special things in the game where it's like you can build up law/neutral ending, so you can get you have a chance to fight for an ending, essentially at that point. And it was really interesting because I think 2 or 3 of those scenarios in the game you're supposed to die. So there's always a better resolution. Like you could have like lived, or you could have not like gone through that at all or whatever, but those endings weren't as good. So apparently in my first playthrough of the game or the simulation, I had gotten to like one of the best endings, or possibly could have been the best ending, and but I died, right? So me and everyone that was on that bus, everyone that was practically aligned with law, which weren't that many people, like the whole city was against, everyone was pretty much chaos. It's like one of those things where like in the game, I'm assuming, I don't know this for a fact, I'm assuming that God was going to show up in this game, which I've wanted him to do for a long, long time. Like, I've wanted another SMT game past 2 that God shows up in, like an actual main story SMT game. Because we see Lucifer a lot, and I mean, people are telling me that Lucifer is supposed to be getting stronger, but I just don't see it. I see that Lucifer's getting weaker each game. So, I don't know. Older SMT fans will probably know what I'm talking about. I mean, even look at Nocturne Lucifer. I mean, I had never fought him until like this year, but I've seen videos of him, and I read up on him and stuff like that. So I kind of knew about his power level. I just never actually fought him. Although I did fight SMT2 Lucifer and Lucifer before that. But like, I'm just saying, Lucifer seems to be getting weak. I mean, did you see the SMT4 Lucifer? That wasn't even Lucifer, dude. I don't know what the hell that was. I mean, whatever though. In any case, to move on with the story. So, how to explain this part? Well, anyway, we died, right? Let's just stick to the basics here. We died, then we get buried underwater as the vortex starts appearing and the explosion, whatever. You see the chunks of the bus fall to the bottom of the sea, essentially. So that's where we're dead, like 100%. You cannot deny this, and that's when the part 3 begins of the dream. Part 3 of the dream, where we're trying to fight for the ending now. So something happens where apparently God sends us a message, right? He's like, okay, you're at a point where you do not know what part of your mind, like you don't know what you want to do. You need to make up your mind, and the decision needs to be made here in purgatory. So right now we're in purgatory, which is like supposedly the final dungeon, and we're like trying to figure out. Well, I say we because there's a lot of us in here. Not really a lot, but like everyone that was in that bus, it's a giant bus. But everyone that was in that bus was Law, and we're all fighting for our own individual ending and for our spot over in that heaven or whatever. So it was quite competitive, to say the least, and I don't know why it was done that way. I mean, in SMT games, God's portrayed as a discriminative and really aggressive kind of God, I guess, kind of an entity, where he would, send angels. I mean, maybe it's the angel representatives, I don't know, but there's always like some kind of like weird discrimination going on versus like a part of the population or something. They always wanted to wipe out everyone. I guess that's just a part of the Bible, the angelic message or something of the purge, but I don't know. It's just put in the game, and it's usually like that in a lot of the games that God is in, or God's representatives like Metatron, Gabriel, those guys. Usually they're like, oh, well, we're doing God's bidding and we're trying to like wipe out all you like filthy people or whatever. So that's usually how it goes in SMT. This game was slightly different, although it was not that different. It was still like a discrimination kind of thing where it's like, yo, I only have certain spots available. Whoever gets there first, whoever does this correctly, you will be allowed entrance and admittance into my army or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I cannot side with chaos because I'm no longer accepted. I've advanced so far into the. I mean, usually they would accept me anyway, but I advanced so far into the lawful side and the neutral side that chaos will not accept me anymore. Neutral I could fight for, but neutral usually is the hardest thing to go for. And the funny thing about that is neutral. Now that I think about it in hindsight, neutral was with me the whole time. I just had to figure it out. And then law had to be like the hardest thing ever. Like I could not figure out law. Like the dream. All right, let me get into detail a little bit. I'm not trying to be here forever, so I'm sorry, guys. If you have questions afterwards, by the way, you can ask them. Just letting you know, I don't want to like spend forever here because I don't want you to watch this video for like 2 or 3 hours or 5 hours. I could talk about it for like 5 hours if I wanted to. But I'm going to keep it maybe 30 minutes if I can. Maybe 40 at max. I don't want to exceed that. So here's how it goes. After the bus scene, we die. We get sent to purgatory. And now that this is where the doors things come in, the whole gimmick of the door. But that's at the ending. So imagine it. And this is like the neatest concept I've ever thought of in a game or an SMT title or whatever. I wish something like this could actually happen in the game. This is like the most mind-blowing thing. So we're in purgatory, and I have to find people that I want to take with me to heaven so they can be part of the army, or another entity is telling me, hey, I want you to figure out what I'm trying to tell you. That's usually how neutral is. I want you to figure out my riddles. And then if you figure it out, if you know what I'm trying to tell you, if you know who I'm trying to let you awaken. Alright, so I'm going to go into a little bit of spoilers. Like, I don't want to say 4 spoilers of a game that I'm playing, but alright, how about this? Guys, I'm going to put a spoiler tag right here, like right there. That way you guys don't, at least some of you clever people who want to like read lips, I'm going to put a spoiler tag. I'm going to wait 3 seconds and I'm going to start talking. Because there's a character in this dream that resembles almost to a T a character from a game that I'm playing, that I'm let's play whatever, who served as a guide. And I don't really want to, ruin who that character is or put him on the spot or anything like that. So, alright, I'm going to wait 2 seconds. Alright, so the spoilers begin now. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now the character's name is Avis from Xenoblade Chronicles. You know how he is like a guide or whatever to Shulk and, well, mainly Shulk in the game, and how he's almost treated like a neutral party or something like that. At the end of the game, in Xenoblade Chronicles, you actually learn who he is. But, I think that's, I should probably not go into detail over it. So, anyway, I'm just going to end spoilers here. That's it, end spoilers. So now that the spoilers are gone, right? I probably should have said that. The spoilers will disappear at the end, and that's how you know that it won't be spoilers. Anyway, so hopefully people will be smart enough to figure it out. I didn't say it, so my bad. Anyway, this is how it goes. That character I just finished describing in the spoilers, that was, at least what I believe to be, the neutral party. This is, and in my opinion, at least from what I've gathered, I'm pretty sure that that was Masakato's soul. So that instantly tells me neutral. I'm like, okay, I understand that this is Masakato. At least when I woke up, I figured it out. When I was in a dream, I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Because you don't understand, I was so frantic. Usually stuff like this wouldn't affect me in a dream, but I was so absolutely frantic that I really couldn't think of. Alright, I'm gonna explain. So like, yo, you can take whoever you want. This Masakato, he didn't even mention his name. He was just an entity. There was a voice, who was God, presumably, and there was this guy that was with me that would show up every now and again if I'm having trouble. So here's how it goes. I'm guessing that this is how it goes. So there are 2 scenarios here. One, you have 10 minutes to figure out who you want to bring or whatever. Well, this actually, hold on. Let me phrase it again. I need to really figure this out. So there are 2 outcomes here, but the main theme is, the main thing that you want to do is you want to find the people that you want to rescue, because they're all lost, and if you find each other, then you are able to bring them out or whatever, and you're able to be saved and rescued. And there's a host of people that are lost in this purgatory, including myself. We're all lost. We're all trying to find each other. We're all trying to find some reason to escape, some reason to live, and not get lost in this like horrible place or whatever. So there are 2 outcomes. No, actually there are 3 outcomes. You could fail, but outcome number 1, if you do all of this in 10 minutes, I'm guessing that's the neutral ending. I'm guessing that's how you unlock the neutral ending and presumably the best ending. Outcome number 2, you have 1 hour to find the people that you want to rescue and take to heaven. Alright? You only have a legitimate 1 hour, and there's no time breaks. The time will tick, and time waits for no man, as you know. So that is one of the strict settings. It's a time does not stop. The only time that time will stop is if God says time will stop. That's essentially how it was. Either that, or the person I call Masakato, he also had control over time. So I guess there was some kind of in cahoots thing going on here. Maybe there's like an agreement. Maybe there's a something like, okay, we're going to fight for this guy's soul, God versus Masakato. We're going to fight for this dude's soul or whoever he brings. So, we will share time. And then if you find it like a good time to interrupt or do something, yeah, I'll give you exclusive access or whatever. I don't know how it worked, but it was pretty interesting. So it's God versus Masakato this time, not God versus Lucifer. That might have come after the resolution of this dream, but how it goes is that you have 10 minutes or you have an hour. But if you fail to meet these requirements, you get 3rd option, which I dare not even think about. Let's just put it like that. I dare not think about. Apparently, one of my friends, I would have a lot of flashbacks in between to what my friends would tell me, and they would like show up in the middle of the dream as a vision in the middle of a dream. So they'll be like, okay, so if you get this, if you take over an hour or whatever, they'll tell me what would happen, and I'd rather not say, but they'll be like, okay, so that's the ending you get or something like that, so try not to get that ending. If you can, try to get a good ending. And in the dream, in the game, it has there's such a level of urgency that it makes you think that it's real life. Even though it's just a game, you forget about that entirely. You're like, okay, this is my reality right now. This is what needs to happen because, it's virtual reality. You think it's real. After a while, after playing it for like a whole weekend long, like I was in there for a whole weekend, I started to believe that it was actually my reality. And with the urgency of the situation, I was like, okay, well, something needs to be done to fix this. I need to find what my truth is or whatever the heck it is. So I was in there looking for. All right. Let's start this way. I don't want to try to confuse people. So the timer begins, right? They're like, okay, go or whatever, and I'm having constant flashbacks of what my friends are telling me about the dream, which is odd because I just finished saying that I thought of it as a real life situation, which would kind of contradict what I just said about me thinking that it's not real because I'm hearing my friends in my head. But I don't know, maybe my in-game self didn't realize that, or in-dream self didn't realize it. So I mean, I know it now, but like back, even though it's just something I didn't realize in a dream or whatever. So let's continue. So the system that I'm talking about that's really, really unique, and I wish I could see this in an actual game, in an SMT game even better, is that there are these doors. And we're talking, let's say Purgatory is one giant ship. Let's say it's one giant ship. And there are all these doors that lead to all kinds of possibilities, different universes, different scenarios, everything. Different realities, you name it, it'll take you there. You have all of these motherfucking doors. I'm just going to say like that. There's just so many different outcomes to things that you are just lost. You don't even know where to start. So the knowledge of these doors are given to you at the start of this purgatory. They're like, okay, so you know how this works, but you still have to learn about how it works, right? So you're given a map, right? And the map, it's like kind of like a cybernetic map where like auto updates the things you've been through. You don't have to like draw yourself. It's kind of like in a game where you see the map in the corner, except you actually have to look at the map. Like you can fit it in your pockets like a little scroll, and you take it out, and then you see the map updating. So right, I go through the first door, which is the first thing that's right in front of me. And it turns out that sometimes you can get lucky, and there's a door to your heart, and that's the first door that I encounter, and that's usually supposed to be the door you're supposed to find at the end of this, or close to the end. It's like your last hope door. So I find the first door I go through is the door of my heart. I didn't know it at the time. I just go through the door. I like some crap happened, like a couple minutes happened or something like that. And it's like a really big deal because a lot of crazy things happen. I'm not going to go into detail, but so many things that really hurt my soul went on in there. And at the end, I saw my brother and my sister. Those are the first two people that I saw. And I'm like, okay, got them. I saved their soul, right? Damn, move the camera. I'm like, all right, I saved their soul. So I was very happy about that. Now, entity number 1, Mascato, comes in out of nowhere. And he like comes up from behind me and he hugs me. He's like, hey there, man. He's like, looks like you got your brother and your sister now. I can give you one thing. Alright, so here's how this could go. He stops time out of it. This is one of those scenarios where I talk about where the entities will stop time. He stops time just to talk to me. Normally when he talks to me in later parts, he doesn't stop time. Time continues. But this, I guess, was a very big decision. So he comes up to me and he goes from behind. He's like, yo, man. He's like, so you got your brother and your sister. I was like, I'm going to give you an offer. I was like, you can forget, like, he's talking about my mom at this point. He's like, you can forget about your mother and all these other people. Right now, I'm going to give you an option. You can take these 2 souls with you, as well as your own, and then we can count that as a conclusion. And this will fit the 10-minute mark that I told you about. So I thought about it. That's why he stopped time. He's like, this is a really big decision. Do you want to go with neutrality or do you want to go with law? That's essentially what he's asking me. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, what the hell do I want to do? I started thinking, I got a little emotional here because like it altered my decision. I started thinking about my bro and sister, which are like probably the most dearest thing to my soul right now. I really care about my brother and my sister. You guys have to understand this. So like, of course, they'll be the first things in my heart. So I got them. At least I got them safe. So they're now souls that accompany me in each shoulder. So I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on. I could go with them too. But then everyone in this ship will be doomed. That means I don't know how many spots God has. I don't know how many spots this dude has. Maybe there's only one spot with this dude. That's why there's a 10-minute timeline. Only one person is really going to make it. I could be that guy. I could fit that role right now if I wanted to. But I started thinking, what would be the fate of those people that don't make it? So then I started thinking about my mom and anyone else that might have been there that I made friends with or whatever. I at least wanted to save my family. I wanted to save my complete family. So my mother was there, and I was like, okay, if I don't save her, who knows where she might end up? I don't know what's going to happen to her. I don't know anything like that. I was not about to abandon her. So I rejected his offer. He understood, but he seemed a little sad. And I was like, I was like kind of surprised with myself. Like, I mean, part of it is not surprising, but a huge majority of it is, because I'm like, okay, well, I literally just let go of one guaranteed salvation because I wanted to save my family incomplete. You know, they say greedy people, I don't even know what they say about greedy people, but, you kind of get the gist. So now, I have an hour, guaranteed now, an hour to find my mom. And I'm telling you, this is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever been through in a dream. I have not felt so played around in a dream since, like, I've had those intense nightmares. I never felt like I was so out of control, or so out of touch with anything, that, like, I was just mind game. The entirety of that hour was mind game. So here's how it goes. Entity disappears, but he doesn't leave for good. He's still there. He's still there. And alright, he does some stuff. Alright, so anyway, so I passed the first door, and now I see this, what I described to be a ship of doors, right? Huge. But they're not just doors everywhere, alright? They're not your typical doors. You gotta look at the map. You gotta look at the map, and the map will tell you where all the doors are. You can spend time scrolling through all the corridors and stuff and looking where all the doors might lead. All of them have different icons. Some have question marks. Some have like icons of characters, like from other games or stuff like that. You know things from my head. Like I would say, I remember one Stefan from Fire Emblem was like an icon that I could save Stefan essentially, which is really funny. And not all of the time will that icon, the icon could be misleading. So in order to find my mom, I had to go through different doors and at least learn. You ever played Carmen Sandiego games? You know how you have to like talk to people and then you could get more clues along the way? That's how it was. I had an hour to do that and find her. So I talked to all the people, which in the first part, your clothes always change depending on the scenario. So in the first part of it, it's like a party of like rich people. It kind of resembled a ship. So that's why I call it a ship, because I'm just going to call that's the main ship room or whatever. So we're like in sail of somewhere, and eventually we're going to dock, and whoever's saved is saved, and whoever's not, it's not. So I had a suit on, right, because it's like one of those business things. And I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at my suit, I'm like, okay, I understand where I'm at now. Like, I can see, I've been teleported here after the door, and I'm wearing a suit to fit the occasion. I wonder if this will happen in all the doors. But I was like, okay, I can't be thinking about that. I got to find my mom. I only have an hour. I was like, I don't know how long or how short an hour is in this world. Maybe it's an actual hour according to my senses. I don't know how an hour is to other entities. But you know what they say about time. Time is as long as you want it to be. So I was like, okay, well, I can't be thinking philosophy right now. I have to find my mom, right? That's the number one. I was like so obsessed with this that it kind of controlled my actions. So let's move on. And this is one thing about like human emotion that I wish I could control, is how to control emotions so that they don't cloud your judgment. So you always want to be calm when you want to make decisions. So anyway, that's how it goes. I'm going to explain some of the doors. I'm not going to go into too much details about the doors, because I went to too many doors. So first door I go through, I got some information. Second door, I got information. Third, fourth. It's not until I get to the fourth door where I start to learn a little bit about stuff. So here's the thing. I don't know what to consider fact or what's a lie. At first, I consider everything to be true because, everyone here is a spirit. Although they have, corporeal forms. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to listen to what these guys have to say because they're all giving advice. Some are jerks and some will lie to you, but I didn't know that, right? So, anyway, one of the spirits tells me my mom's being held by a demon, and my mom's wearing green. So look for an icon of green when I search through the doors. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know if I should look for a green icon, a person with green hair, because there were a lot of people with green hair, or what should I be looking for? A green face, head, or what am I looking for exactly? They just told me a green icon. So I started keeping an eye for both green hair and green icons. I look frantic because apparently like some 15 minutes passed and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, I can't find anything. Some scenarios are so absolutely mind-horrifyingly scary that I like don't even want to go through them, because I remember going through one like it's like a harbor or something, and there's this woman there that's at the end of it, but she's like supposed to feast on your soul or something like that. Like if you at all get close to her, like she starts to disappear. If you try to touch her, like she comes from behind you or something. I don't know what it is, but there's some like really horrifying like scenarios there. Some of them are like traps, like you die instantly. Like even though you're there to like in purgatory, the spirits of purgatory can capture you, and that would end you right there. That no ending for you. That's it. Your soul's taken by purgatory, and you'll probably become one of them. That's probably how everyone in that whole place came to be a soul. Is stuff like that. Maybe I was looking at the history of everyone that's ever tried to live or something. Adult, that raises the question: how many times does this actually happen? The whole like dream and the bus and everything. How many times has the world been in that state? I just started thinking about it. Like, could all these people be souls? Is it just a dream? Is it all like made up in my head? Is it just like a made up scenario? That way I can just go through this riddle or maze or whatever like that. So this whole place is a labyrinth. I will say that. So if you go into the wrong place, you might reach a dead end. You might even reach a place where you cannot turn back. And that's why I stayed away from a lot of those places. But a lot of those places apparently had better rewards if you made it out of them. They probably led to more accurate tellings of what you're looking for, what your heart's looking for. Surprise mystery guest by Satan in this place. Apparently, if you fight and defeat Satan, you can do that. You get a instant, like, there's so many different like scenarios. Like you get an instant pass, right? You get whatever you're looking for. You get your wish. So it's so weird. Like there's so many scenarios, so many different ways you could go, and like a corridor can lead to like a hallway that leads to another world, and then that has like 15,000 other doors. Like, it's insane, dude. There's just so much to do. I can't even imagine how many times there could be an ending to this. For the most part, I didn't branch off. I mean, I did for a little bit, but I thought to myself, all right, I don't have a lot of time to do this. I can end up in God knows where, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to make it back. I don't know if I can go back or whatever. So I started thinking to myself, this is way too insane. I can't even handle this. So I started freaking out. I'm like, I'm never going to find her. I should probably just go and try to find an exit or something, get the hell out of here. With the two souls that I have my brother and I have my sister, right? I'm like, I should just take what I can get and go. I was like, no, you can't give up. You can't give up. I was like, you still have time. If anything, just, I was like, you gotta do this. You can't leave her alone. It's like, that's your mom, right? So I have this, me personally, I feel very indebted to my mom, which is why I do a lot of the things that I do for her, but it clouds my judgment, even in dreams. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to find her. I have too much love for her. So I go and look for her. Eventually, I'm skipping a lot of stuff right now, but eventually I go to a spot where, because at least 35 minutes have passed by now. And this one shrink guy is telling me, all right, so there's a lot of different, all right, I'm going to go through a little bit of the doors. There's a lot of characters that are guaranteed that can go in my party or whatever, but I reject them, and I'm like, no, I can't get them, and some automatically join me. I don't know what's the limit for how many people can join me. I think if anything, it should be, I don't know, if it's 5, maybe I could discard a person or something. I don't know. I was thinking about that, but so far I didn't encounter that problem. So I had some people join me, like, I forget which one of the characters was, join me, like a joke character or something. And then I'll go into probably the most important door that I've been through so far, at around 35 minutes through. So this door was very unique, different from the rest of them. It was like a very important part. So it's important to note that you can accrue money when you're in here, or like various items and stuff, like any dungeon, right? You can get all kinds of things like truth serum things, or something, like ways to like let people tell the truth or make people tell the truth. You have ways to bribe people with items. You have money. So I go into this door, this black door with a rose. No, it was like a what is it? I don't. Well, it's just a bunch of flowers on the door, kind of like. And now that I think about it, it's kind of like the flowers that you would put on a tomb, or at least a coffin, rather. So it had that on the door. It actually looked like a coffin. It was black. Shit. So I go through that door, and it appears to be a shrink's office. Although it was really weird. It's kind of something fishy about this guy's office, because there's a, you know how, like, let's say you go to a doctor or dentist, there's a person behind the counter, and then there's a door, and then you go through the door, and that's how you go through all that stuff. Well, apparently the shrink was right in front, and then there was a counter behind everything that we were through, and there's more stuff back there. But I never talked to the counter lady. I talked to who told me he was a shrink, and we're right there in front. There were a bunch of couches, whatever. So I was like, I don't have much time for this. Like, I've heard of you. I've heard that you can get me to where I need to be. I was like, I will literally give you every cent that I have if you can help me find my mother, right? So we spent 5 minutes, yes, 5 minutes, looking through, like, I don't know, he has some, like, weird, like, magic crystal ball, like, observation kind of thing, where he, like, was able to read the past of some, I don't know what he did, but I can see what he's seeing in his head, because it was kind of like a linked thing. So I was, like, able to see, like, where his mind was going, and, like, I see on the map, I see, like, a spot, boom, right there. And then that question mark becomes a girl with green hair, or a woman with green hair. Although, unfortunately, the facial features aren't enough for me to learn that's my mom. But like, okay, that's where your mom's at, guaranteed. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I've been looking for like half an hour now. Like, I appreciate. I mean, your dad. I shake his hand with 2 hands. And I give him like a sack of cash. And he's like, here you go, man. Enjoy a paid vacation, whatever. He's like, no, man, I'm retiring now. Thank you for this money. And he's like, yo, and whatever he called her, Julie, just for laughs. Like, yo, let's go. Like, and he's like, all right, boss, or whatever. So I leave. I'm like, now I know where she's at. And I will tell you, up to this point, I've gone through many doors with icons just like that, and I have not found her. A lot of times, it ended up being something different or something fake or whatever. And like, I remember one particular hallway that was just was filled with them, and I was like, this has to be it. Usually, when there's like a lot of them like that, it has to be the one. Like, they're trying to trick me. They're trying to put all these things in the way. That way, I get confused and I make the wrong decision. Maybe I'll get trapped. I checked all of them out. None of them were her. So I remember that corridor wasting a lot of my time. But I learned so much from there, and I despised that corridor. But anyway, now that I knew where she was, I go over to that spot. I go over to that spot, and it turns out that it's a demon ambush. And I'm like, holy crap, or whatever. So like, my brother and my sister actually appear, and they help me fight these things, right? So now I waste like 20 minutes there. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill that guy, whatever. So I go, and my map tells me something, and like something starts blinking, and it's another green icon, but it's a green icon though. And then there's a picture right next to the icon, a woman with green hair. So I go over there. I was like, oh crap, the map's telling me. If the map's telling me, it has to be something important. So I think what the map is telling me is that there's a new character that could be saved, right? And it happens to be a icon like that. So I go over there, and I fight more demons in there. And then like this time my brother and sister don't help me because it's not an ambush and it's not like I'm life threatening. I just kill the demons, and there's this giant mouth with a tongue, and I had to chop away at the tongue or something because like it's like grabbing whatever it's inside, like in a cocoon. And I'm like, okay, I start chopping at the tongue, whatever. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I had to like use the tongue to lick off the cocoon. So I like take a piece of the tongue that's chopped off and I start like wiping away the silk or whatever the heck it is. And the more and more I see it, the more I see a defined woman's body, and I see all these curves, and I'm like, all right, this is not my mother's body. I'm like, this person has insane curves or like whatever. And it turns out to be Ivy from Soul Calibur. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what about this is green? And I noticed that she's wearing a green shirt. And I'm like, oh my god. So at this point, I have probably like 55 minutes that, elapsed, right? And I need to find her in the next 5 minutes. So I'm losing my freaking mind. And I can't find her. So I'm going nuts. I am literally going nuts. And I keep looking and I keep looking. I'm like, all right, I have to fight Lucifer at this point. I'm like, this is, and I start to figure something out. All these characters that are here, like Stefan, Ivy, all these other people, they might be advanced demons to help me take on this boss, Lucifer or Satan, right? So I'm like, of course that makes sense. But I'm like, I have 5 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to beat this guy in 5 minutes. I've had previous SMT experience. This guy doesn't take 5 minutes to kill. So then I started to be like, okay, well, I need to look for something. And I go through as many doors as I can. And at this point, I am fairly positive that over an hour has passed. I am fairly positive, although nothing has happened. But I forgot to mention, you know how that Masakato, as I call him, has appeared several times. At one point, I remember there was 50 minutes elapsed, 10 minutes left. And he points at, he's like, hey, I can help you out here. If I give you a little cheat sheet or whatever the heck it is, I can help you find your mom. And then he like, there's this painting right before I go inside of the door. I had the door like slightly open. It's this painting on the wall. He had like appeared from outside of the wall, and like imagine this, right? Imagine this is the door, and I'm like right here. Fuck. No, all right. This is the door. This is the door. This is the painting. I'm where I'm at right now. Masakato's like over here, right? He like appeared from over there, and there's a door like right here, and I'm like about to go inside. So Masakato's like, "Yo, dude, I can help you out." In this, let's say this is a painting, like an actual painting. He lifts and like moves over to the left, and it appears to be a clock, and I see how much time I have left, which is like insane. He like shows me at least what the time is. I try not to look at it because I'm like, all right, I can't or whatever. He's like, I know exactly where she's at. I'm gonna draw you a map or whatever, and I'll tell you where she's at. And I'm like, no, dude, I can't. And he's like, why can't you do that? And I was like, because if I go with that, I will not get law. It's like I'll be, I'll cheat, and I will not be admitted into heaven or whatever like that. And he's like, he starts looking at me like that, like he's right. But then like it's like he was trying to give me another chance. Like after the 10 minutes things was over, he still tried to give me another chance for neutrality, and I didn't even accept it again. Even though there were 10 minutes left, I was like, I need to find my mom. So now I started to think about the worst at this point. Like, she's probably dead already. Or something like that. I'm like, I don't see her. Nothing has popped up. Spirits have told me, yes, I saw her going over here. I saw her over there. I saw a demon take her this. I saw a demon hold her hostage over there. It's like, who the hell do you listen to? So, like, I was lost. I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know what the hell to do. So, this is the unfortunate thing, though. As I was going through one really fateful door, right? I like woke up all of a sudden. I don't even know what woke me up. I have no idea what woke me up. Maybe it's just that I was asleep for so long and I was just like, whatever. But you know, this dream was not lucid for like the first time in a long time. I couldn't, usually I know what's going on around me when I'm dreaming. This one it was like completely submerged in this dream. So after I started to gain lucidity, I was like, holy crap, I'm dreaming. This is not real. And then I started to be like, oh crap, I don't want to wake up from this dream. But you know, as you wake up from something, as you start to understand that you can wake up at any point. I can literally open my eyes at this point, and then the dreams started to weaken, and then whatever the REM started to disappear, and I was like, damn, I'm losing grip of this. I want to see how this ends. I want to see if this door is my mom's. I was like, I even had to make up a scenario. I need to like find out. I couldn't proceed past that door. That door was just stuck in that position. I couldn't open it. And I was like, damn. I was like, can I at least not make up an ending or something? Like, I need to know how this ends. Do I get to heaven? Do I find my mom? Like, what's up with Mascato? What's up with God? Is there a battle afterwards? Like, what? Like, I didn't get to learn anything. Like that. Do I even wake up from my from whatever? Do I get to meet my friends and be like, yo, that was an awesome game or something? Do I get a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10? Like what happens? So now I have a really bitter sensation going on right now, and I'm so upset. That's why when I started this video, it was dark, because I was like, I'm in the dark about this. I don't know what happened. I can try to speculate, I can try to theorize. At the end of the day, I didn't find anyone except for my brother and sister. I don't know if I got saved. I don't know if I just gave up and went with Masakato. I don't know. The only way to know is if that game ever comes out one day, and if I was thrust into that same position, and I don't know, that game would have to come out. And that's the only way for me to find out what really happens. Which probably isn't going to happen, because that game seems really, really advanced for something. I mean, we don't have that kind of technology. Nor, I don't think we have that kind of creativity in any of the gaming departments to come up with something so grand. That probably will take a lot of resources for like a game. To have so many different scenarios and outcomes, man. I don't think any game's going to reach that level ever. Like, there was just so much detail to that game that like I just don't see it happening. Well, that was a dream, guys. Let me know what you think. I mean, I think this is a fantastic dream. I just wish it ended better. I wish I had an actual conclusion. I wish I had any like sort of resolution here, because now I just have all this like stupid bitterness now pent up, and I just can't get rid of it. Maybe if I eat something I'll feel better, but like, I'm actually gonna go play some Smash, because I need to like let go of some of this bitterness. Well, let me know what you guys think. If you had similar dreams, let me know. Any questions you have, I'll be willing to answer it. Whatever you want, just post it in the comment sections. Give me a like, give me a rating if you liked it. If you didn't, whatever, But that's all I have to say for today. Actually, I do have Nino Kuni coming to you, but since I haven't uploaded a video today and it's already so late, I might as well just upload this, and then I'll let you guys. I'll give you guys Nino Kuni tomorrow then. Well, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out and keep it styling, yo.